Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at personal backup with BackBlaze. Okay, so this is a personal backup solution. They also offer business backup and B2 cloud storage. I'm not going to get into those two options. We're going to be focusing on the personal backup solution. Another question that's probably going to come up is, well, how is this different from Dropbox or Google Drive or OneDrive? This is a totally different service. Those services are more geared towards storing your files and sharing your files and collaborating on those things. This is more about protecting all the files on your computer. So I'll drop a link down in the description about the differences. But for now, I'm going to move on with the video. So we're going to meet personal backup here. And we're going to try it for free. Now, if you want to try it out, they do offer a 15-day trial. So I suggest you try it out and see how it works for you. And if you like it and decide to keep it, you can pay the $6 a month. So we're going to say try it for free. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to install here. Again, paste in my email here. And we're going to sign up. And it's going to download the Windows Client Installer. We're going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to go ahead and launch the installer. Okay, now for whatever reason, Windows Defender wants to scan the heck out of this BackBlaze installer. So you may run into this. Hopefully you won't. Hopefully BackBlaze will patch it, or Microsoft will patch it, or somebody will fix it. But it took a really long time from the time I launched the installer to the time where the installer actually appeared on the screen here. So in any event, we're going to go ahead and select install now. And the installation has been completed. It's going to give us a summary of the files that BackBlaze found. This machine doesn't really have a whole lot of information on it, but you can see it found a little bit of information, and it's telling us that there's going to be a system tray icon, which we can see down here. So we're going to say OK. I'm going to pause the backup for now so that that's not happening in the background. At a glance here, we can see the number of files selected for backup and their size. We can see the backup schedule, which is continuous, and the remaining files that are waiting to be backed up. So we're going to look at the settings, but before we do that, let's look at our restore options. If we click this, we can see that we have 3 different options here to get our data restored. We can do a web download, which is free of charge. We can order a USB flash drive sent to us via FedEx. Charges are going to apply. And there's a limit to 256 gigabyte for that option. And the third option is going to be to have all our files sent to us via FedEx on a USB drive. And obviously charges are going to apply there as well. So it's good to know we have multiple options here. So let's close that. And let's look at the settings. So to start out with, we have the online name for this computer. We have the temporary data drive. Now, in this particular machine, we only have one drive, which is the C drive. But if you have multiple drives in your system and you want to use a different drive for your temporary data drive, you can set that here. By default, it's going to warn you if the machine has not been backed up for 7 days. You can click this drop down here, and you can select a shorter period of time, down to 1 day. You can also select for it never to warn you. I don't recommend you do that, because if you're not being backed up, it's never going to warn you, and you're never going to know unless you open up the control panel. So we're going to leave it at 7 days. We're going to allow network tests and show animated help tips. We can disable those by unchecking the boxes. We can inherit the backup state. This is if we've reinstalled the application. I'm not going to get too much into what that setting is about. I'll drop down in the description a link to the BackBlaze article on how that works. Lastly, in this section, we have the hard drives available to back up. Now, like I said, in this system, we only have one drive, but if we had multiple drives, we would be able to deselect the other drives if we did not want to back them up. We cannot deselect the system drive. If we try to do that, it's going to tell us no. We can't do that. Next, we're going to go to performance, and it's going to give us some information at the top. We have automatic threading and throttling. Now, I recommend that you leave this enabled, but if you want to manually throttle and manually select the number of backup threads, you can uncheck this and you can tweak the settings. Looks like you can have up to 30 backup threads running at one time. So we're just going to set it back to auto. By default, it's going to back up when you're running on battery power. You may want to disable this because if you make a lot of changes to your system and you have it running on battery and this option is checked, it's going to run your battery down quite a bit faster. And the last setting in this area is a Wi-Fi network block list. Now, it's my opinion that I would rather have an allow list than a block list. And the reason for that is you may not want to back up your data when you're on any Wi-Fi network that's not your home network, or maybe your home network and your work network. For example, if you're in an internet cafe, in a coffee shop, or if you're in a library, or somewhere else where it's not a trusted connection, you probably don't want to back up your data when you're on that connection. But BackBlaze has a block list. So what's going to happen is the software is going to back up unless you specifically block that connection. So if you're on an untrusted network, you're going to need to come in here and add that untrusted network into your block list so that your machine does not back up when it's on that network. Something to keep in mind. Next, we're going to look at the schedule. And this is fairly simple. We have 3 options. We have a continuous backup. This is going to back up anytime new files are added or changed. We can back it up once per day. And if we select that, we can start the backup. By default, it's going to do it at midnight, but we can select anytime we like. And it's going to end when it's done, or we can set it to end at a specific time if we'd like. The last option is to only back up when you click backup now. This is a manual backup. My recommendation is to leave it on continuous. Next, we're going to look at exclusions. Now, under exclusions, we have a number of folders here. Now, you're paying for this service, and I don't really like the fact that they're forcing you to exclude certain folders from your backup. Now, all of these folders can be removed except for program files x86, program files, and the Windows folder. If we try to remove one of those folders, it's going to tell us that BackBlaze does not allow backing up the Windows system directory. We can remove these other folders to show you the program files message. So we try to delete that, we're going to get a similar message. Does not allow that folder to be backed up. Same thing for x86. The other folders, we can delete the exclusions for those. So the first thing I would do is come in here and remove all the exclusions. The next set of exclusions are file types. So you're going to want to pay really close attention to these, because if you have these types of files on your machine, they are not going to be backed up by default. So the first thing I would do is come in here and remove all these and apply those changes. The next thing you can do is set a limit So you can tell it not to back up files that are larger than a certain size. I don't recommend you do that. It could potentially fail to back up an important file on your machine. Next, we're going to look at security. BackBlaze allows you to have a private encryption key. I recommend that you do this because if you do this, it's going to ensure that only you have access to your backup data. Even BackBlaze will not be able to access your backup data unless they have your private encryption key. This is a security thing. It's highly recommended that you set up your own private encryption key. You can read more about that in this section. Next, we're going to look at files scheduled for backup. Now, we haven't backed up on this system before, and we paused our backup. So obviously everything on the system is going to be waiting to be backed up. So we're going to have a large list of files here. But you can go in here and see everything that's scheduled to be backed up on your system. Next, we have reports. This is going to give us a little breakdown of all the different file types and the size. We can see that we have a total of 340 meg. And lastly, we have issues. If BackBlaze is unable to back up any particular files, it's going to list those in here, and it's going to list the reason why. So we're going to say OK. So that is the BackBlaze Windows client. Next, we're going to take a brief look at the website. Okay, so here we are on the website. We can see our computer. We do get a 30-day version history. You can upgrade that to 1 year. I believe it's an additional $2 a month at the time of this recording. We can see the information about the files that are selected for backup and the remaining files. Also, we can see our selected drives and when the files were last uploaded. We can also download the software. We can view or restore files. There's nothing for us to view or restore at this point, so we're going to skip over that. If we go to My Restores, this is going to show us any restore operations from the last 7 days. We also have My Shared Files. So you can share your backed up files. Here we can see that we are not currently sharing any files. Next, we can locate our computer. We can turn this off. If you don't want this on, you can turn it off. By default, it's going to be on. It's going to tell us the last time your computer was online, the last time the location was reported, and the IP address. You can click on Map This, and it will show you where the device is on a map. Then we have Preferences. In here, it's going to show us our plan. We're on a trial period, so we don't have a plan listed here. We're going to receive a backup summary via email monthly. We can unsubscribe from marketing emails. You might want to do that. We can completely delete the backup from BackBlaze servers. And lastly, we have our settings under our account. We can delete our account. We can change our email. We can enable two-factor authentication. So overall, this is a pretty good product. I don't like some of the things that are limited, like the folder exclusions, but overall, I think it's a very good product. $6 a month is really inexpensive insurance against a hardware failure or a theft or natural disaster. Do you currently use BackBlaze? If so, drop a comment down below and let us know how you like it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps other YouTubers find quality content, and we really appreciate it. Click on subscribe, and then click the bell to get notified whenever new content is added. And as always, your comments, questions, and suggestions are welcome below, and we thank you very much for watching.